Gangs to Gods, unveiling the omnipresent signs and symbols of Chicago's major black street organizations. Copyright 2014. Author Adil Davis. Throughout the ages, many credible scholars have written volumes of books and have held a countless number of lectures dedicated to the ancient mystery systems of our master ancestors of the organic bloodline. The information that has been extracted from these sacred systems of higher learning have been spread throughout the world, giving birth to a number of philosophical idealisms, religious theologies, scientific discoveries, and New Age enlightenments, to say the least. As I have spent over 3 decades in search for a greater understanding of the various schools of the ancient mystery systems of the world, I encountered a number of symbols that are identical to the sacred symbols claimed by the 7 organizations in topic. Upon cross-referencing these symbols, I discovered that these connections are also in the names, alphabets, slogans, colors, hand gestures, and foundational numbers of each organization. How can it be possible for socially classified misfits to be connected to anything ancient and profound? And how could these connections be so accurate without the slightest flaw whatsoever? While contemplating these questions, it finally dawned on me that the only way that this could be possible is that these higher sciences had to be encoded in the DNA of the chiefs who created these organizations, as well as the devout members who have been drawn to their specified vibration/tribe. Eureka! I exclaimed. This discovery gave a new meaning to the life is in the blood. Or should we say, the universal sciences are in the blood. Although many of these organizations are sworn enemies by design, each has been endowed with advanced degrees that are interconnected for the greater purpose of inevitable unity, which is what is feared the most by the powerless energy vampires. Our unity, which is more powerful than a hydrogen bomb. Natural energy grids. Chicago, Illinois. The name reportedly given to this great city by the ancient indigenous tribes who once inhabited these, what are now considered Midwestern lands. According to some historians, the name Chicago means onion field or garlic field. To others, it is said to mean stripped skunk. While the original meaning behind the name of this prominent city might hold significance, what truly stands out is its position on some of the most powerful points of the Earth's energy grids and ley lines. The above coordinates are not only based on location, but also the high energy codes and vibrations which emanate from this part of the planet. These strongly connected vibrations play a vital role in the energy generated by the carbon beings naturally linked to this land. Together, these energies move through the universe at the speed of light and return to the air, water, land, and all living beings. This process creates recurring electrical and magnetic frequencies that are deeply intertwined, governed by universal law. The 4 descriptions of planetary grids: magnetic/gravitational energy grids, telluric lines, electrical grids, and lastly, mental grids. Magnetic/gravitational energy grids holds everything on the planet to its surface. Origin: the Earth's molten magnetic core. Telluric lines are energy grid frequencies that reflect the characteristics and activities occurring on the surface of a particular location. For instance, in areas of war and bloodshed, the Earth will exhibit that type of energy on its surface. Similarly, in places of peace and tranquility, the Earth will display corresponding energy patterns. Electrical grids are specific points on the planet which produce the most powerful electrical vibrations. The Grand Pyramids of Chicago, Illinois, the Great Pyramids of Giza, Egypt, Africa, as well as many other pyramids and mounds of the world. The Bermuda Triangle and the South Pole and North Pole are just a few locations positioned within high electrical grids. Mental grids are vibrations that emanate from the conscious living organisms that inhabit the planet. We call them thoughts, which are sparks of invisible light, clothed in the finest particles of carbonic substance. The secret energy of the Great Migration. After the Emancipation Proclamation was signed in 1863 by President Abraham Lincoln, millions of our ancestors began migrating to Chicago in the early 1900s. Some believe this migration was voluntary, with people leaving the South in search of better opportunities in the northern states. Others argue that it was a forced migration, with our ancestors being driven from their lands by Spanish, French, and American invaders. Nonetheless, this migration was not just about the movement of people. It also involved the transfer of energy from one state to another. As a result, this movement brought a significant flow of carbon energy to Chicago, which was, and still is, instrumental in building the city to its current level of prestige. Sadly, this comes at the expense of those quietly fueling the fire. Recognizing your role as part of the energy grid. As we explore the definition for electrolysis, we learn that it is defined as the conduction of electricity which can be manipulated by a solution or melt. According to science, this in turn will induce a change of strength within the organism producing the energy, as well as the environment in which the organism has adapted to in the process. Thus, the electrical and magnetic currents which were naturally produced by our forefathers, physical bodies, as well as mental thoughts, were guided/conducted into an altered state. In turn, those energies were systemically manipulated, which forced them to adapt to the circumstances, and thereby reproduce like energies which vibrated into the soil and fabric of the land. As a result of these energy manipulations, the experiences altered the positions of our forefathers' atoms, cells, brainwaves, and physical features, etc. In other words, adaptation. This unforeseen energy exchange is one of the main forces that held them to the lowest vibrations on the planet. And this form of dark alchemy was used against the people of the land for a time that has come to pass. With this being the case in this day and time, the light codes within the DNA of our elders, which were passed down from our ancestors, still remained perfect, containing the highest sciences of the original goddesses and gods. Thus, the founding fathers of the 7 organizations in topic, who were nothing less than messengers of light, brought forth the names, signs, and symbols that were created in order to reawaken the sleeping tribes of Turtle Island with the origins of our divine godhood. And this is what has been classified as gangs and gang signs. But they are far more than measly gangs and gang signs. They are ancient souls/remnant seeds, who are the true holders, in due course, of the divine keys and cosmic degrees that we have utilized for eons to harness and control the creative forces within us and around us. Hence, as there is nothing new under the sun, these omnipresent signs and symbols have only returned to the original Kemites full circle. Now that the Grand Ta Marian matriarch has been restored to her rightful position on the land, by divine order, all forms of spells and/or contracts against the organic people of the land are hereby broken and forevermore null and void. For it is written, the day will come when they are surely raised up again. We sincerely hope that you have enjoyed this brief introduction. If so, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Last but not least, be sure to stay tuned for From Gangs to Gods, Chapters 1 through 7.